Hey, welcome back guys. So for now, controllers in Mira takes a little bit of a different approach. First, let's go to our shell and let's run a composer show I and verify that we have controller 0.2.0 or above. If you don't, just go ahead and composer update and you should be good to go. If you don't, go ahead and make sure you have installer 0.1.2 or above, and that should pull in the correct controller. Close that out and go ahead and migrate to your app. So we're going to work on the Mira app. Open the controller folder and controller.php. Let's go ahead and set up our file. So controllers for now, as of this video, are not classes. They're actually closures. The idea behind a controller in Mira is to create abstraction, but also readability. So let me show you an example of a controller. If we go ahead and type controller, and this right here can actually be anything we want. So let's make a welcome controller. So the controller takes two parameters. One is going to be a URL, which will search the URL for anything beginning with this. So we want home. So any URL that starts with home, this controller will execute. And let's not forget to add to use Mira controller. Now this welcome clearly takes a function or a closure. Let's go ahead and clean that up. And inside here, we could put as many renders as we want. Let's do route get, and we'll get home/hello. That'll take a closure, and we'll just render view of the Mira app and the home template. Let's go ahead and use Mira route and use Mira render. Let's go ahead and see if that works. And we have the same thing. And hello, hello. And now it's working. So just to see that it is working, if we make this say something like tutorial, go ahead and refresh, and that now breaks. Now you can create abstraction easily with these controllers, similar to class level variables, by simply adding them to the top of your controller. Now obviously this doesn't have access to it because closures have their own scope. So if we change this back to home, try to refresh, and we don't get anything. So we'll have to use, similar to passing a class level variable or using a class level variable inside a method, we'll say use variable, and now we should have access to that. Now similarly, we could actually pass the variable itself to the next template if we just add our variable to our render. Oops, that's a variable. If we go ahead and open our templates, home, and we try to echo out this variable, we'll see that this is a variable is now available in that template. Now what's interesting about controllers like this is you can now add another route. So let's go ahead and just copy this route, bring it down. If we said home/hi, this should also work. And we get the same result. Now you could also add something down here. A variable is equal to hello. And now that specific template has access to a different variable of hello. So you still have that abstraction that a class gives you, but to me it looks just a little cleaner. And if you don't like this, then you could always add the class controller service provider. Now we can go ahead and create another controller. Controller goodbye. And this will only execute whenever the URL starts with goodbye. That'll take a closure. Just copy this route over. And we'll get the goodbye / bye. We'll see if that works. And we'll also echo goodbye. So go ahead and refresh. Go to goodbye / bye. And we'll see we now have access to that controller as well. That's really it for controllers. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next tutorial.